Alright, so today we're going to learn the two-player game Crimson Company. In the game of Crimson Company, you are trying to gain control of two of these three towers. Once that has happened, that person wins. So the game comes with a really cool player aid that will show you exactly what you get to do on your turn, and it even shows you how to set up the game. So in setup of Crimson Company, you're going to place out these three castles in a row. Then you're going to shuffle up this deck, and you're going to place out 4 cards from the top of the deck. And then flip over the top card of the deck. This makes up your offer, and this is what's coming in the future that you can see. Now you're going to pick the first player. You can do that by flipping a coin or however you want, but the first player will get 3 coins, and the second player will get 4 coins. And at all times, each player is allowed to know how many coins each other player has. Now, to start off the game, you're going to go through each turn, and you're going to continue these turns until someone wins. So there's 4 different portions of your turn. There's income, recruitment, deployment, and score. So we'll go over each one. The first one is income, which is the simplest. You're going to get 3 coins and add them to your stack of coins. Then next comes recruitment. Recruitment is where you're going to look at the cards in the offer row and bid on one of them. So when you bid on one of them, you're going to take whatever number of coins you want and place it on the card that you want. Now your opponent can match that. So if your opponent matches the amount that you put on, so let's say they actually do, and they put on 3, they get to place the card instead of you. But you will get all the coins. So the active player will get all the coins if the other player matches the bid. Whoever wins the bid, so let's say they didn't match, and I placed my 3 coins on there, and I won. So if I won, the coins just go away. Then I get to place this card in any one of these 3 rows. Now a little bit about cards themselves. There's a couple different things that are important on a card. So if we look at a normal card here, you're going to have the power. So this is going to be what's used to figure out the strength when you score a castle. And we'll get into that in a second. And the other thing is they have abilities. Now if it doesn't say, these abilities will occur as soon as you purchase the card and only when you purchase the card and place it. Some of them will occur at certain points. Like this one will happen at the recruitment phase. You may put coins on the upcoming card, which is over here. So this one will happen every time you do the recruitment phase. Some of them will happen at income phase, and that's the beginning of your turn. Some of them will happen at deployment, and some of them will happen at score. The ones that will happen at score are neat because they often affect the power that is added up for the castle. Now, that is how you do recruitment, and deploy is just simply placing out your character that you bought. The next card would go in, and the other one would flip, and this would continue until 2 of the castles are captured. Now, that gets into the score phase, which is the final portion of your turn. So if some cards can be flipped over, you get 4 cards in a row at the end of your turn. You get to score that castle. And what you're going to do is you're going to add up the power, which again is right here, of the cards, and the total's power wins the castle, and you will put that over in your direction. However, some cards have a score ability, and when you're scoring, where it doesn't matter if it's your turn or not, this triggers. And this one says your cards in your lanes have 1 extra strength. So this side will add it, and this one also has a score. Gain 2 strength for each of your face down cards. You'll take those into effect and the total score. So in this example here, I'll pull this card up so you a little bit. This one's flipped, so it's 0, but you're going to have 2, 3, 5 power on this side, and this side's going to have 3 because it's +1, 6 because it's +1, 11 because it's +1. So this side will win. And what will happen is all these cards are now discarded. Some cards have abilities that will make them do other things other than be discarded. But in general, they get discarded. And whoever won, which is this side, that castle will go towards them. And no more cards can be placed in that castle. So when you do your deploy, you can only deploy them to castles that have been unclaimed. This will continue until 2 castles are claimed by 1 player, and that player wins the game. So that is the rules for Crimson Company. A couple other side things there are some advanced rules that you can play in the game that are in the back of the instruction manual. And if you run out of coins, you don't get any more coins. So if you run out of coins that are in the game, that's it. I've never had that problem. Most of the time in this game, you are trying to manage tightly the amount of money that you have, and it'll get between like 8 and 9 coins. The main portion to point out in strategy of the game is going to be in the bidding mechanisms here of when to match and when not to match. You can't do it a lot too early because your opponent will start piling up these coins from not getting these cards. You'll start to do rows, but you'll find that if a person does that strategy, they'll be left with 1 or 0 coins. And what that means is on this player's turn, they only have to bid 2 coins to take anything, and that other player can't stop them. And it also means that on that player's turn, they only get 3 income. They are in danger of having their cards stolen, and that can be a critical juncture because that's when the rows are getting very close to having 4, and that's 4 on one side. So those are a couple things I just wanted to point out. I would also suggest going through the cards and playing and seeing what each of them do. There's some really cool abilities here. Some of them involve flipping, which again, if you have to flip cards in the lane, they will be flipped like this. They're still in the lane. They still count as a character, but they're 0 points. Now, the other thing to keep in mind too is some cards, let's see if I can find it, like the zombie. So the zombie card and other cards like it, when a lane is scored, so it says destruction, so that's that destruction keyword, you move this card to another lane. Now, if this card moves to a lane, even if it's an opponent's lane that triggers scoring, that scoring will occur. So if there's 4 or more in any lane, no matter which player caused it, that will score. So you can actually finish off multiple castles in one score phase on an opponent's turn. So it's a good thing to keep in mind. It's another reason this card is really good, because you can use it to trick people into letting you score multiple castles at the same time. So that's the rules for Crimson Company. Thank you for watching.